I really like making minis. I'm not any good at it, I don't really feel, but I have a lot of fun doing it. I'm gonna probably start a new video series where I show you how to make bad minis that will at least be fun at your table, and you'll get some real kick making them. So the first one I want to do is one from the new book, Mordenkaisen's Tome, the Oblex. This is a monster that is a result of mind flayers doing experiments on oozes. These Oblexes will come alive and they will absorb memories of humanoids and people. And then what they can do is they can use some of their slime and gush it out and mimic that person. So you get this weird invasion of the body snatchers, mind control, Cthulhu horror aspect to it. I think it's really great. And even better, this particular monster, as fantastic and imaginative as it is, it's the result of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. One kid's wish, kid Noah, he wanted to go to Wizards and work on D&D for a day. So he got to sit down with Jeremy Crawford and Mike Merles and design a monster, and the result is fantastic. Here it is. So here is our Oblex. See if we can get this thing to focus. And here are the little Oblex spawn. Look at these little guys. Whoa. Like I said, they are not the highest quality minis, but they're a lot of fun to make, and I'm going to show you how I did it. We're going to start with this sort of misshapen foil ball, sort of like a twisted cone. Then we're going to get a couple different colors of Sculpey, including a couple different shades of red. Then mix them together until we get the kind of colors that we want. We're going to make a big disc out of this Sculpey with the darker stuff on the outside, and then we're going to add some lighter colors to the edges of our disc. We're going to take this big disc of Sculpey and then cover our tin foil with it. Just sort of work it in with your hands until you feel like it's all there and smooth. We're going to take a little bit of this red and this white, and we're going to marble it together. We're not going to mix it all the way. And then we're going to take pieces of it, just plop it onto our mini, and then smear it on until it's nice, until it's mixed on there really well. Take a small ball of that darker clay, and then slowly pull pieces out to give you these teardrop shapes. Once you get a bunch of these, go ahead and stick them to the bottom of the monster, and it's going to make it look like slime is just pouring off of this thing, which is what we want for our ooze monster. And then we're going to bake it. In Mordenkainen's, the Oblex also has little Oblex spawn, so while the big one's baking, we're going to get started on those. I'm going to take some wooden discs and give them a dab of brown, and then a dab of gray, and then keep mixing that back and forth until all the paint is off of the brush. Looking at the illustration in the book, you can see that it has these sort of bulging faces of the memories trapped inside. So to mimic that, we're going to take these gigantic skeletons and snip off their heads. I got this 4" by 4" foam core base painted with some stone texture. I learned how to make this over on DM Scotty's page. And this is going to serve as the base for our mini. Once our monster has cooled off, we're going to go ahead and glue our skulls on. It's okay if you're a little messy because it's an ooze monster anyway. Then we're going to texture it with hot glue. Starting at the bottom of the sculpture, we're going to put a dab of hot glue on and pull down, a dab of glue and pull down, and then we're going to work our way from bottom all the way up to the top. We're going to glue our mini onto the base, and then finish it off with a gigantic glob of hot glue right on the top, and it's going to drip down as it's drying, giving it a great final touch. The Oblex is being described as having long tentacles coming out of it that can sometimes morph into the creatures it's impersonating. So we're going to add those. I got some bits of wire that I just cut up into random lengths, and we're going to twist them together into these long shapes. Doesn't have to be pretty. In fact, if it's kind of ugly, it's better because this is supposed to be strange and otherworldly. Next, we're going to glue our thick wire bits onto our mini, and then we're going to texture that wire with hot glue. This is going to make it look like it's slimy and not just a bit of wire. And just look at it, it's so gnarly, so cool looking. For the Oblex spawn, we're just going to get some baked chocolate chip shaped bits of that darker clay and glue them right onto these bases. Plop, 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 plop. And then we're going to take a big old glob of hot glue and apply it right to the top. Plop, 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 and let it drip down and melt. We're going to cover up the whiteness of that hot glue, but maintain that sort of slimy texture by painting it. We're going to get some bright red paint and do a light coat starting at the top and working our way down. And then we're going to get even a smaller amount of gray paint and start at the bottom and mix it up into the still wet red paint. this is going to give you a sort of darker texture at the bottom, which is going to look really great. After the paint dries, I'm going to give it a quick dark wash, and then that's it, we're finished. Pretty easy, super fun to build. And here is our result. You can see the heads trying to sort of pop out of the ooze there, the tentacles lashing about ready to grab or imitate somebody, and then the huge ooze mound itself. I think it's a really fun project, and I'm really excited to use this at my table. You can see here how the Oblex would look on your table. Super cool. Your players are going to freak out when they see it at the table. Hopefully this will be the first in a whole series of videos where I make, pretty terrible minis. Let me know what you think in the comments below.